Welcome to Astrology per Sci-fi Hindi channel. Today we are diving into a mysterious world. Let's get started.
The galaxy had already chosen its winner. It wasn't even close. On one side, armadas the size of planets, commanders trained for centuries, weapons that could bend space itself. On the other side, Captain Elias Vorn, a man with no legendary victories, no special talent, no reputation, just a worn-out ship and a crew that didn't believe in him. The first time he stepped onto the bridge, the silence said everything. No one saluted with confidence. No one looked relieved. One officer whispered, not quietly enough, "We're dead." Elias heard it. He didn't react, didn't give a speech, didn't try to prove them wrong. He simply sat in the captain's chair and opened a small notebook. On the first page he wrote, "Day 1, improved by 1%. He wasn't a natural leader, so he studied leadership. 1 hour, every day. He wasn't a great strategist, so he replayed old battles. Paused, analyzed, learned. He wasn't quick under pressure, so he trained his reactions. Simulations. Again, again, again. At first, nothing changed. The ship was still weak. The crew still unsure. The war still impossible. But Elias didn't aim to win the war. He aimed to win the next day. Day 7. His commands were slightly clearer. Day 18. His reaction time, slightly faster. Day 36. His crew made fewer mistakes. Day 72. They trusted him, just a little more. It wasn't dramatic. No sudden transformation. No heroic moment. Just small improvements. Stacking. Every single day. Other captains relied on talent. Some were born brilliant. Some were trained from childhood. They made bold moves, big decisions, high-risk plays, and sometimes they failed. Elias? He avoided big mistakes, because every day he removed one small weakness, then another, then another. Months passed, and slowly, the weakest ship in the fleet became something else. Not stronger, not faster, but sharper, more efficient, more disciplined. The first real battle came without warning. An enemy squadron appeared from hyperspace. Stronger ships, better weapons, more experience. His crew panicked. "Captain, we can't win this." Elias didn't shout, didn't rush. He simply said, "Stick to the plan." "What plan?" He turned slightly. "The one we practiced 200 times. And suddenly, everything slowed down. Not the battle, but their fear. Because they had seen this before. In simulations, in drills, in endless repetition. Adjust shields, 2% right. Hold fire, now. Rotate formation, slowly. Small commands. Tiny adjustments. But perfectly timed. The enemy attacked with force. Elias responded with precision. No wasted movement. No panic. No chaos. Minutes later, the enemy retreated. Silence on the bridge. Then someone whispered, "We won." Elias nodded once. Today, yes. Word spread. At first people called it luck. Then coincidence. Then something else. Battle after battle, Elias improved. Not dramatically. Not noticeably. But consistently. Other captains tried to copy him. They trained harder. Longer. But they made one mistake. They wanted fast results. Elias never did. 1 year later, the final war began. The largest fleet in recorded history. Against them, Elias, and a fleet that wasn't the strongest, but the most prepared. Before the battle, his crew stood behind him. No fear now, just focus. One officer asked, "Captain, what if we fail?" Elias looked ahead, then said calmly, "Then tomorrow, we improve." Pause. "But today, we execute." The battlefield exploded into chaos. Ships collided. Weapons tore through space. Commanders shouted orders. Panic spread. But not on Elias's ship. Everything was controlled, measured, deliberate. The enemy relied on overwhelming power. Massive attacks, brute force, confidence and superiority. Elias relied on something else. Patterns, timing, discipline. He had seen thousands of scenarios. Not this exact one, but close enough. Always close enough. "Wait," he said. His crew hesitated. The enemy was charging a massive strike. "Captain, we need to move." Elias didn't blink. Not yet. Seconds passed. Tension built. Then, now. A perfect maneuver. The attack missed by inches. And in that small opening, Elias struck, not with power, but with precision. One mistake from the enemy. That's all it took, because Elias didn't need many chances. He only needed one. The tide turned, slowly at first, then completely. Hours later, the war was over. The galaxy was silent, confused, shocked. How did he do it? Where did that skill come from? Was he hiding his talent? Elias was asked the same question again and again. He gave the same answer every time. I wasn't special. Pause. I just didn't stop improving. He held up his notebook, now filled with pages. Hundreds of small lessons, tiny corrections, daily progress. 1% doesn't look like much, he said, but over time, he smiled slightly. It becomes everything. The galaxy didn't fear him, not like they feared powerful warlords or ancient beings. They respected him because he proved something far more dangerous. You don't need to be the best to win. You just need to keep getting better. And somewhere far from the spotlight, Elias sat again in his chair, opened a fresh page, and wrote, Day 366, improved by 1%. Do you think small daily improvements can really defeat overwhelming power, or does talent still rule the galaxy? Let me know in the comments.